welcome to Just Some Maths, a YouTube web series which is presented by Icon. This series will focus on providing tips and tricks to help Bladen Hall multilateral students improve their mathematics performance. As I start this series, what I will be looking at is the May June CXC Mathematics Paper 2. Looking at the very first question of this paper, we're to use a calculator or otherwise to calculate the exact value of 1 4/7 divided by 2/3, which is subtracted by 1 5/7. In my very first step, I will convert the mixed fractions to improper fractions. To do this, what I will do is multiply the denominator to the whole number and add that value to the numerator. So 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 will give us 11/7, divided by 2/3, which is subtracted by 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5, which is 12. In my next step, I will actually write back my 11 divided by 7. I will change the division to multiplication as is the opposite sign, and I will upturn, or as I would like to say, I would flip and write the values in their new positions. So we have 3 divided by 2, which is subtracted by 12 divided by 7. Now looking here at our multiplication, we would notice that there is nothing that can actually be cancelled out. So 11 times 3 is 33, 7 times 2, 14, subtracting 12/7. Establishing what our LCM is going to be. Looking at 7 and 14, the LCM is 14. 14 divided by 14 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 1 times 33 is 33. Subtracting 2 times 12, which is 24, which is now going to be equal to 33 minus 24. So we have 33 subtracting 24, which is going to give us 9. So here we have our 9 divided by 14. And that there is the first question. Moving on to the second question that we have here for question 1. When Megan started working, she was paid $85 each week. After a 6-month probationary period, her pay was increased by 20%. How much was she paid each week after the first increase? So her start was $85, and then we know that her percent increase is 20%. So taking this apart, what we'll actually be doing is unpacking all of this information. Then we'll be able to actually solve for what her new payment per week is. So looking that we have a percent, what we are now going to do is we're going to say we have 20% divided by 100%, which is then times by $85. So this goes 2 1s 2, 2 5s 10, which leaves us with $85 divided by 5, which is equal to 85 divided by 5, which is equal to 17. Yes, every time you see me scratch, it's because I have no idea where the cursor is. Hopefully Microsoft actually does update their system. So her increase is $17. Now to know what her new payment is per week, we'd have $85 plus $17. So what this is actually going to be equal to is 102. So that's her new payment per week. Moving on to the next question. In 1965, the population of a country A was 2,714,000. And in 2015, the population was 3,663,900. So clearly there was an increase. So our first part here, asks us to write the population in 2015 correct to 3 significant figures. So, with that being said, here we have 3,663,900. So 3 significant figures, I'm using strokes. This is 1, 2, 3. So we have 3,606,000. So notice our value here is 3, which is not above 5. So we're going to round it to the nearest tenth, which means 0. And here we're just going to add zeros for place values. And this is at 3 significant figures. So this is A. Now for B, we're writing the population in 1965 in standard form. So we have 2714. Now in standard form, it means that your answer will be something times 10 raised to some power. So looking here, we have 2.714. And with that being said, we need to now count our decimal places. So starting from behind here, we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since we move 6 places, the power there is 6. Now, as you're probably noticing, these questions are relatively simple. It's generally straightforward. It just requires you to remember some of the concepts that you were taught in your earlier years of secondary school life. Alright, so we're now to determine the percentage increase in the population from 1965 to 2015. So now let's start unpacking the information that we actually have. First, we're going to look at how much was the increase. So to know how much the increase is, we'll simply do a subtraction, wherein we have the 3,663,900 to subtract the 2,714,000. So we're going to have to now enter this into the calculator. So what we have is 3,663,900, and we're going to subtract 2,714, and then here we have 949,900. So 949,900. That's the increase. So with us knowing the increase, we can now actually solve for what the percentage increase is. So we have 949,900, and what it was is 2,714,000, and since we're solving for a percent, we have 100%. So we're going to enter this in the calculator now. So here we have 949,900 to be divided by 2,714,3, and this is going to be equal to 0.35, which we're then going to times by 100, and here we have the answer being 35%. And okay, now I actually did work this out before, so let me just erase all of this, taking this all off, taking this all off. Alright, so looking at the final part of this question, the ratio of teachers to male students to female students is 3 to 17 to 18. So this is teachers, this is the male students, this is the female students. Now if the total number of students in the school is 630, determine the number of teachers in the school. So what we can actually establish is that for male we have 17, and for females we have 18, and for the teachers we have the ratio of being 3. So all this is I've written out what the ratio is. So to know how much male and female students based on what we call positions, we'd have 17 positions plus 18 positions, which means the total the total positions for students is 35 positions. So PTS. Now, since we know that 35 positions is what is allocated for the students, we now can say that 35 positions is equal to 630 total amount of students that we're given. So one position is going to be equal to 630 divided by 35, and this is going to be equal to 630 divided by 35, 18. So here we have 18. So one position is equal to 18. Now, from what we understand, we have 3 positions for teachers. So the total teachers will be equal to 3 times 18. 3 positions times the position, what is one position, and 3 times 18 is equal to 54. Okay, and with that being said, now let's move on to question number 2.